Hey guys, welcome back to the Bosch blog where we talk about all things bullet journaling, books, and beyond. Today we are diving into my May bullet journal spreads. And if you like this video and don't want to miss another one, make sure you give this a thumbs up, like it, share it, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another episode. But we're diving in this month to my bullet journal for May, and let's just say my initial plan was going to be some floral design theme based off of a washi tape that I purchased. And then I went through and was doing a video for social media where I was looking at all my older bullet journal pages, and I came across a lovely Star Wars themed journal spread that I did in 2018, and guess where my brain went? That's right, we're going with Star Wars for May. So May the 4th be with you. Today is actually Revenge of the 5th, or Cinco de Mayo, depending on if you're a Star Wars nerd like we are in my house, or just the regular average human who enjoys a margarita and some nachos, which I also fall into that category. But I digress. Here for my cover page, we did some really cool Star Wars themed font that I got off of the internet for free, and did my little cheat method where I color the back with some lead from a lead pencil, and then I place it on my journal page where I want it, and then I trace around what I want to transfer onto my bullet journal page, and we have this lovely cheat of a font. And yeah, that's it for the cover page. I did add some gold to that as well that you'll see at the end. Next, we are working on my calendar spread, and you know I love a 2-page calendar spread. But let me tell you, I have lost my big ruler now 3 different times. My daughter is in 2nd grade and they're learning about measurement. So I've been allowing her to borrow my nice metal ruler. And let me just say that before I even let her borrow it, it was hard for me to keep track of it. But now it's even worse because I'm not sure if I have it or if she has it. But anyways, as you can see, my camera work here was fantastic. I know you guys love watching me draw and make straight lines with this like too short for my B5 journal ruler, and I made a mistake there as well. And like this calendar spread this month was a struggle. So I made 3 different mistakes on this spread. So you will see these 3 different mistakes as we go through this. So that was mistake 1, where I did not line up my lines properly. And then the next one is coming up. Again, excellent camera work by myself. I thank you all for the award for cinematography. But there, look at me. I caught on to my nonsense. So like a thing that I really like to do, I know like back in the day, I used to count dots or spaces, and sometimes I am still required to do that depending on the spread. But now I use the like centimeter side of the ruler, and like each box in my calendar spread is 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. So I just know that now, and it makes creating a calendar spread or any type of spread, so like with repetitive sizing, so much easier. Like you can just measure out what you're doing, and you're like, oh, I need 5 boxes. So then you divide your total centimeters out by 5, and that gives you how big each of your boxes needs to be. And then you can also do like adjust it to if you want room for a header or like room to put your washi tape. So next we're moving on to the May title on this page, which I again used the transfer method with the same piece of paper that I did on the prior page, on my cover page. So that made it super easy and slightly less wasteful of printer paper. But you know, we are in the stationery business here and we waste and use a lot of paper. So that's about it. So we're just going to continue on with the same font that we did on the cover page, and just tracing it out with my Tombow marker, and then we're going to color it in with the Tombow marker. A lot of times, like I have the other, like the fine point, like the fine point pens that I like to use a lot for like outlining and stuff. But if I'm coloring something in black, I find that I want to use the same pen that I'm coloring it in with, because otherwise the blacks are a little bit different of a shade. It's really weird. But if you don't mind seeing your outline, you can always use your fine liner, but I like to use the small end of the Tombow to do the outline. So I sat here for a minute and I wasn't sure what colors I was going to use for this spread. And once we get past doing the little highlight with the gold pen on here, then I decided that I was just going to keep everything black on this page. And then the color would come from when I put the like events or reminders on the calendar itself. I've started color coding the calendar because it's getting a little excessive. So like we have a kitchen calendar and I have my calendar on my my Google Calendar on my phone. So typically like my husband is purple and my daughter's blue and I'm pink and my grandmother is she's yellow and the dog is orange. Yeah, so the dog even has a cover color. So 2 mistakes on there. I forgot the 21 and I only put 30 days in May when there's actually 31. So yeah, calendar spread was a little bit of a struggle. So we're moving on now to the mood tracker, and I am again using the Star Wars font for my title and using the transfer method here as well. You can see how you just peel it off and what you were tracing is right there. So this mood tracker is actually the thing that gave me the inspiration for this theme this month, because I did a similar mood tracker back in 2018, and when I was going through my old journals, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so cool, like I should do this again. So it was literally like a game day decision that I switched this, and I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I think it fits for the month of May. I mean, we as a family enjoy Star Wars. I don't know how much Sydney really enjoys Star Wars, but sometimes I will surprise my husband with my knowledge of Star Wars, and he'll get a big kick out of it because I'll make like a weird reference, and he'll be like, oh, hey, that was kind of cool. So I actually asked him, I was like, hey, like what colors should I use for this like journal thing? And he went like deep diving down a random hole of like, I'm thinking lightsaber colors, you know, and he's going down a hole like of Star Wars color palettes and how the rebels are like orange and green and like the Sith Lords are red and black. And I'm like, dude, let's just look at like lightsaber colors. Like, should I use this color? Should I use this? I mean, obviously, like typical lightsaber colors are, I hope that no Star Wars fans watch this, because I'm sure you guys are all gonna be like, this girl knows nothing. And really, I mean, I know some, not a lot. So please be kind and give me grace. But I always know, like, Luke's lightsaber started out one color and then turned to a different one. So I don't know if he started out blue and turned green, or if he started out green and turned blue. I can't remember. Obviously, if you're like a Sith, your lightsaber is red. And then I know Mace Windu had a purple lightsaber, which I thought was really super cool. And the guy in the video game had an orange one. And then I said, Josh, should I use, that's my husband, should I use like yellow or anything? And he goes, well, Ray had a yellow lightsaber, but it was like for 2 minutes. And I was like, okay. So we opted not to use yellow because I only needed 5 colors. But anyway, I digress. So these are very, very, very rudimentary lightsaber hilts. I freehanded them and I based them off of some drawing on the internet in 2018, and then I just took my journal from 2018 and I copied them into this journal, and I actually did not use the trace method. I actually freehanded them based off of my prior drawing. But I think they turned out pretty cool. So we are coloring in the mood tracker, and I'll tell you, making circles is so difficult. Like, it never looks good. Even if you use the trace method, it just never comes out well. But whatever. So we did the title, and I added tracker in my cursive, and then we're gonna write in the numbers, and I'll just color over these with my marker for each day. And sometimes I guess there's like 2 lines for each one. So if you like, maybe one day you were like mad and sad, then you can use 2 different colors or however you like. So now we are coloring in the lightsaber hilts. Whose lightsabers these are, I have no idea. If you're a Star Wars fan and you know whose lightsaber hilts these are, let me know in the comments, because I can't remember and I just threw it on there, you know, I just copied whatever. So both of them are like, the base is gray. I wish this was a lighter gray, but I don't have a lighter gray in my Tombow pens, which is like mind-blowing to me, but whatever. So this one, I think I like this lightsaber maybe a slight bit better. I don't know. The other one's pretty cool. Like, I like how the other one has a diagonal thing right before the blade, but I like this one, I think, a little bit better. And I think like every Jedi has to build their lightsaber from different scraps and stuff that they have. So I don't know exactly how that happens. Like, I know that was in like one of the movies or one of the shows that we've watched, or maybe it was in the game that my husband played, but like Jedi Survivor something, I think it was. That's the guy with the orange cowl, I think. But I think they like have to find their I want to say caliber crystal, but I know that's not right. And then they build their lightsaber and plug it in. So there are the lightsaber hilts and the lightsaber blades, and then we're going to choose our colors for our moods. I usually try to pick which one I want to see the most and make that like my the mood that I would like the most, if that makes sense. So I kind of like strategically plan the colors now. So obviously if I'm mad, and also these kind of like go with like the Jedi moods too, I guess, because if you're a Sith Lord, you're like sad and angry, even though you're not supposed to have feelings. But that's, I don't know. Now I'm confused. All right, we're moving on. Moving on to the habit tracker. I again made a mistake on this page too. We'll see if you guys see it. But I printed out the word habit in the Star Wars font We transferred it over with the lead, and we are now tracing it with the Tombow marker to complete the spreads. This is the last one for my May journal, like the setup pages. This, I like tweaked my I and my T a little bit to kind of connect them, so I don't know if it kind of looked cooler or not. I don't know. And then I apparently, like, the B, man, the B was difficult. Like, that top circle on the B was bad. That's all right. I can't believe this video is 18 minutes. How can I possibly talk for 18 minutes? My husband would not be surprised, but I am. It's a lot for me to talk for 18 minutes. So we are coloring in our habit and going from there. I connected this sheet with washi tape, and then I pulled the washi tape off and it ripped my page. Like, that never has happened to me before, and I thought that was like crazy. But there is the rip up in that top corner there. So we are writing out tracker in my freehand cursive, and then I'm using my calendar stamps and my archival ink to make my habit blocks. And I don't know, sometimes this is easy for me, sometimes it's hard. It just depends on the day, but the clear block really helps. And I think if I changed the placement of my light and my tripod, we would be in better shape. But this was semi-rough. So typically I only track 6 habits every month, but this month I'm going to try to track 8. I'm seeing a dietitian and she's having me try a gluten-free and lower carb diet, so I have to track both of those things, and I'm going to see how well I stick to them. Hopefully we do well with that. And we're also adding in a 30-minute walk as well, 3 to 4 times a week. So as you can see, my error there was my PM vitamins got shifted over a little bit. So after consulting Josh, I got the correct Yoda quote as well. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoy these May bullet journal spreads with the Star Wars theme, and we'll see you next time. Bye!